for the drop, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always boarding. Just out touring down in Charlotte like I play for Hornets. When I'm performing, never boring, now you can't afford it. Champagne Perrier, finish friend.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the KingAndEyeLife podcast, hosted by myself, Soul Touch of the Poet, and my brother up in this joint.
Son Soul Lex up in here.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you want to call in tonight for this episode, the number's right there, 347-778-1082. Text your name and we will bring you on the line. Also, if you want to support the show, that's our Cash App right down there. King and I Life. Additionally, if you have any topic suggestions, feedback, or anything like that, email us, KingAndEye369@gmail.com, and the website is www.KingAndEyeLife.com. Son, so Lex, go ahead and give him the rest of that business.
Only thing we want you guys to be still aware of is we are still going for the Purple Gala. So again, be on the lookout for that because our crew is going to be in the house live and direct. So you guys make sure y'all attend that.
Supporting domestic violence, so definitely stay tuned for news on that.
For sure.
Son, so Lex, you know you got to talk about the platforms and stuff. Come on, man.
Okay, all right. So anyway, again, you guys can find us on Twitter, Facebook, what else? All of the major podcast platforms, YouTube, Instagram. Of course, you guys know we out here in these podcast streets. So, do what you do. You'll find us.
Yes, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a good show for y'all tonight. We are interviewing two of the founding members of 5 Grand Logistics, LLC, located in Temple Hills, Maryland. It is a family-owned and operated logistical service company. 5 Grand's goal is to aid owners and operators in minority communities to achieve a fair rate and become profitable within the trucking industry. This is a woman-led company, but it is a family thing. Led in this particular industry, which has its unique challenges. They have formed a resilient organizations which will enable them to take them on this journey. So, 5 Grand, go ahead and introduce yourselves individually and give us a little background on yourselves.
Okay, my name is Sharon Hundemer, and I'm the silent partner of 5 Grand. I have been working alongside my brother-in-law, Kevin, and my sister, Dee Dee, who is actually the owner, and learning this business alongside them, getting all of the knowledge I can with the help of Kevin. And then I have a husband who's a trucker. And so I'm learning from his angle as well as one of my best friends, too, who is also a trucker. So I'm getting knowledge all around me with this business, and thank you for having us.
Not a problem. Kevin, definitely. Go ahead and
my name is Kevin Martin. I'm the CEO. Of course, as you heard, we are a woman-led company. I'm not only the chief executive officer, I'm also the in-the-field trainer for drivers under my tutelage. I train them on how to work with direct shippers and for direct shippers. And if I may add a plug-in, we are currently looking for drivers in the Washington, D.C. area. Yes. And if you are interested in coming on board and being a driver, you can reach us at area code 301-449-3724. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later on in the show, but I wanted to get that out. And I also wanted to say that really, we are a company that's growing. We are there for our clients. And like I said, I'm the in-the-field trainer. My wife is the owner, and she's been working with a mentor in this field as well. And he has mentored us both. And we are moving forward, and there are some challenges.
That's right. What's up. 5 Stack Logistics. We in here.
There we go.
We want to make
It's
more
a
than 5
story behind.
stacks.
Yes,
But
sir.
we,
Yes, sir.
Yes,
but
Always.
indeed. Yes,
yes.
It's
indeed.
actually a story behind the name. My father was he was a bus driver, like a tour
Hmm.
bus driver, and he had a CB name which was 5 grand.
Oh,
So we thought this was a real good way to contribute to my father, and so we named the company 5 grand.
And
yeah.
also
That's awesome.
with my father-in-law, and it used to kind of drive them both a little crazy. We would sit around and talk about routes we would take on trips, and it'd be this back road, that back road.
Oh, wow.
So
Oh, and when you get to the corner, you'll see a little corner store and there's a gasoline station across the street. You're gonna hook a left there.
Hey,
Oh.
man, that's Alabama talk right there. That's Alabama talk.
hey, on that note, like Sharon said, once he and I start talking like that, I had him. I had to
Mm,
marry his daughter.
I know that's right. I know
Man,
that's
that's a
right.
wonderful way to honor his legacy that he's
Yes,
passed
yes, it
down
is.
here. That's what's up.
Yeah, yes, indeed. Yeah. So before we even jump into questions, how are y'all doing today? First and foremost, and happy holidays to you too, and your families, and everyone out there listening. But how are y'all doing today?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. I just finished the day of training one of our drivers.
Hmm.
He's working with a direct shipper. And like I said, if for people who know me and my sister-in-law and my friends, I'm ex-military.
Hmm.
I'm a former NCO, and one thing I love doing is training people.
Right.
I used to always tell them in the military, I could do it the right way, I could do it your way.
Hmm.
And your way is going to waste a lot of my time, so let's do
No,
it the
that's
right way.
right.
Heck yeah.
I'm still an NCO, so I feel you.
Yeah, you understand, bro.
Oh
Well, as for
man.
me, my days being really easy breezy.
Hmm.
Um, Currently, I assist in the background in putting 5 grand out on social media. So that's been my goal today.
Hmm.
Reaching out to making sure that we're out on Instagram, which you can reach us on Instagram. You can reach us on Facebook. We're also on LinkedIn.
Hmm.
So I make sure to promote us as best as possible. Joining different groups, trucking groups, Black owned business groups, and making sure that I put us out there that way. So today has been great and pushing us along.
That's good. That's good. So let's jump into it. So, first question: what is the mission of 5 Grand Logistics?
The mission of 5 Grand Logistics is to provide logistical services to owner operators. And what we look to do is we look to work with African American owner operators, but we don't limit ourselves to African American
Hmm.
owner operators. This is a very one sided industry.
Hmm.
Anyone who's worked in logistics or worked in the trucking field will understand exactly what I'm talking about. And we'll touch on that a little bit later. But this is a field where billions and billions of dollars move quarterly.
Right.
During the pandemic, the trucking industry from the guys in the little four banger four cylinders
Hmm.
to the guys driving the 18-wheeler trucks were
Right.
the thing that kept supplies and literally kept the country running.
Hmm.
But we found out that there was a need for logistical services as well.
Right.
And based on all three of our experiences, we decided to get into the logistics industry.
Hmm.
My wife started mentoring with someone we jointly knew through my godmother. And then I kind of started listening to the conversation, and my military background in logistics kind of got me on board.
Right.
And then Sharon, and I'm not speaking for Sharon, you'll have to jump in, Sharon.
Um, I have a best friend that's been in the trucking industry for 4 years now.
Hmm.
And so we would always have a discussion about the loads that he was taking, the areas he was going to, the money that came along with that, and what potentials it could lead to.
Hmm.
So I had it from a driver's perspective for a while, and then he actually talked my husband into it.
Right.
And so now my husband is actually on his way to California,
Mm.
but I get the conversation from his end too. So
Okay.
yeah,
Long haul game.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So the mission basically is to provide logistical services to owner operators. There are other logistics companies out there, and we know this.
Right.
Okay, but we wanted to provide logistical services because, like Sharon said, her husband is in the industry, her best friend is in the industry. On my wife's side, her friend and our joint friend is in the industry,
Right.
and also my cousins are in the industry. And he owns
Okay.
3 trucks down in North Carolina,
Oh, wow.
and basically retired, just recently retired or went part time.
Mm-hmm.
But to say that from the age of 19 to the age of almost 49, he has 3 houses, 2 houses, 1 trailer, land, 3 trucks, and all his kids' college is paid for.
Wow.
When I told you this was a billions of dollar industry, that's what I'm talking about.
That's good stuff.
All right, so let's stop right here, okay?
So
So
Can
when
I
they
get into
say
this?
we, our group of people can't work together as a family to build something, that's a bunch of hogwash. This is a prime example of what can be accomplished when we pull our resources and we work together, either as a race of people or as a group of people, or especially a family of people. So I just wanted to put that out there.
and I agree with you wholeheartedly. And the one thing that Sharon, Dion, and myself, we didn't get involved in tags, who's going to run what, who's going to do
Right.
this.
Right.
At the end of the day, we're family.
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit off kilter, the Black community, we're spenders, we're $1 trillion spenders, but we're taking in a few $billion in wealth.
Right.
Okay, that's why we created 5 grand. We know that there's a money tree out there. We know that, hey, if you get in and you do great service, you're going to get some of that money tree.
Right.
We talk about wealth. We love talking about wealth, but we don't like about talking about how to obtain that wealth and taking risks to get that wealth that's out there.
Mm-hmm. You know,
But another thing, I'm sorry, I wanted to add another thing to add too is both of our families, we grew up with entrepreneurs. My grandmother owned a beauty salon, and she had that business from before I was born up until she passed when I was in my 30s. So I grew up in entrepreneur industry with my grandparents. They owned land, they had houses, they had more than one. I'm putting plural on that. They used some of that as rental properties. They taught by example because I stayed around them all my life. So I watched everything. My grandfather sat me down and before I could read, taught me how to count money.
That's what's up.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm the same. My mother's had a small construction company for a number of years. Just recently retired from that. My father, and I chuckle when I say that my father was out booking bands and also working in the government. So I have a background in music. My father always taught me before the word side hustle was a thing. He said, Kevin, you have your main job and you have your side hustle. If your side hustle is paying just as much as your main job, guess what? You can pay your bills with your main job and do what you want with your side hustle money.
I know that's right. Yeah. I wanted to touch on the fact that you said y'all don't worry about labels, and I think that's very important, especially in our community when it comes to family business, group economics, and stuff like that, because that, naturally some of our people want the title and that motivates them more than anything. But you eliminate titles and just everybody contribute equally, and everybody has their individual strengths, but everybody contributes equally. That helps whatever you're doing grow and manifest into whatever your goals may be.
And that's the most important thing. That is always, and you touched on it, that is the number one reason I feel personally why a lot of Black businesses don't succeed or family members don't go into business together. They're so wrapped up in titles. Well, I want to be in charge. I want to do this. No, focus on your strength and then use that strength. Everybody flow as a collective.
Right.
And you'll get that money.
Yeah. Sure.
Heck
Will.
yeah.
Sure.
It's all
will.
about teamwork, man. It's not about who's in charge. It's about coming together, working as a team, getting the business at hand accomplished.
And when you have that I mentality and you say team, there is no I in team.
Mm-mm.
I don't care how you spell it.
Unless you're spelling in a different language.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
True words.
And like I tell anybody out there, and look, hey, we're normal people. Don't be afraid to call.
I know that's
If you
right.
got a question, don't be afraid to call. Call a show, call the office. I'm going to give the number later on again. But if you're out there and you got an entrepreneur dream and you're hearing my voice, you're hearing the voice of my sister-in-law, the voice of the host and the co-host, don't be afraid. An idea starts in your head.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't be afraid to project that idea. You're going to get the naysayers. You're going to get the crabs out there. Oh, man, if I were you, I'd stay in my job, blah, 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 blah. They don't know your story. They don't know your tale. Okay? If you got an idea and you got the ability to spend a little bit of money and make that dream come true, why not invest in yourself?
Exactly.
The number one commodity out there you need to invest in is yourself before you invest in anything else. And I know there's some people out there who can hear my voice that got a closet full of Jordans. They got PlayStation 4. They got PlayStation 5. Okay, you invest in them. Okay,
Right.
and I'm going to tell you on the side, I do financing. Let me put it this way. Jordans are not an investment product. Okay? So
Sure not.
it starts, and I can tell you, it starts with a basic business license. In some places, they cost $25. That is 3 number ones at McDonald's to start investing in yourself. That's basically what we did. Everybody invested in $5,000 to make it get up and running. And I'm not saying you have to be, $5,000 logistics has to be your thing, but I'm talking to you as a human being, as a black man. You talking about this industry. I'm telling you how this industry is working. And your number one investment is yourself.
Yep.
Well said, sir. Well said. So if you would, just give us a rundown on the structure of your company. Right?
Well, Dion is the owner.
Yep.
And I have to say, look, I have to be real mute when I say,
Real clear about that.
Look, because I'm also the husband. And when I get off here, I gotta lay next to her. Okay?
Yeah,
that's right.
And look, the
We
couch
want
is,
you to sleep at night.
look, and the couch is very uncomfortable.
Hey, especially at this age. Hey.
So Dion is the owner. I'm the CEO and head trainer, and I'm a very in the field person. And Sharon will tell you a little bit about herself.
I'm the silent partner, but I also do the social media and outreach, especially when we're looking for drivers and things like that. So that's my role.
Okay, so with that being said, is that 3-person team, is that does that work well? Do you expect, or do you need more people in the upper echelon of the company to further assist, like with training and outreach and marketing and stuff like
most
that?
definitely. Most
Yeah.
definitely. Okay, and we are looking for those people. We're looking for drivers, people with ideas. Okay. We are not, what's the word I'm looking for? We are not a hive mentality. And especially me. I used to tell my subordinates in the military, hey, look, if you can do it better than I can, or you got an idea that, might seem to you that may be dumb, but you want to project it, hey, I'm willing to listen. Okay, I'm willing to listen. And if you can make it better, if you can build a better mousetrap, okay, I'll be the first one to say, okay, I'm on board. So yes, we are right now. We're working from a home office, but our overall dream is to have a brick and mortar building.
Right.
okay, with staff and drivers
Mm-hmm.
who are getting in on this billions, like I said, multi-billion dollar industry.
Right.
There are not a lot of us out here. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we talk about our spending power, we talk about everything else, we talk about money, but we're not making money in this billions and billions of dollar industry.
That is true.
Definitely.
Very
As
true.
someone
Very
who
true.
has a CDL license and lived that life of a trucker, I can tell you there are plenty of us out there driving. Plenty of
Yep.
us out there driving. But the
Right.
thing about it is, we want to go from drivers to owners. That's the transition we are trying to get people to do.
Right. Yeah. I asked that question because, well, first and foremost, how long have y'all been operating so far?
Well, actually, we're
We're
actually brand
new.
new.
We're
Okay.
new.
Brand
We're
new.
new.
But we all draw from our logistical experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And as I say, Sharon has her logistical experience in the private sector and governmental.
Mm-hmm.
I have my logistical experience, military, government, and private sector.
Mm-hmm.
And Dion has experience in government and private sector. Believe me, even in the government,
Right.
if you let me put it this way, if you're carrying a box from one office to another, guess what? It's logistics.
Yeah, sure. Look,
Okay.
I work in the government too, and I see it. Plus, I'm in the military. I see it. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you.
Look, because guess what? You say somebody's going to ask you in about 2 weeks, hey, what did you do with that box I had you take to the office 2 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
And if it ain't filed, guess what? Does not get it with a lot of
Mm-hmm.
employers and even the government and especially the military.
Right. Right. Right.
So that's why, we just took our logistical experience and I just used the box as an example. It doesn't have to be a box,
Mm-hmm.
but
Right.
I just
Yeah.
use that experience. But if you work in the private and governmental sector, military sector, guess what? You're working logistics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're working logistics. If you're filing something away in this industry, paperwork is key.
Yes, it is.
Paperwork is key because you want to know what? If you, like my brother said, he got a CDL, eventually it goes to State Department of Transportation and it goes to the US Department of Transportation. And guess what? If your paperwork is off or you missing the form, someone does knock at an owner operator's door.
Mm-hmm.
Someone knocks at a logistical company's door because they want to know what you're hauling and where it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's for
Definitely.
sure.
Definitely. And to piggyback off of what you were just saying, what a lot of people do not realize, logistics is it's not that hard and it's more natural to the individual than they believe. Everybody is a logistician. They don't
Yes.
realize it. And throughout this conversation, when Kevin, when you were talking, you know, I was like, everybody's logistician. I have two MOSs in the military. One is chemical, and the other one is a transportation management coordinator. Um, and from the time that you learn how to walk, carrying your toy from the living room to your bedroom or to your toy box, you are in logistics. Um, so, with that being said, what it's two questions. What are you looking to transport, and also are you seeking government contracts as well?
On that, did you want to take that, Sharon, or should I answer that?
We are seeking government contracts. We're not, that is the goal.
Hmm.
We're not there yet. We're currently working as subcontractors to the mentor that we're under right now. And he is training us how to get contracts with right now with the people that he's working with.
Hmm.
And so right now we're transporting auto parts.
Mhm.
And I'm not talking engines, because your engine, because we all know an engine is not going to fit in the back of your car.
Okay, I
But
know I could throw one in my pickup though.
Yeah.
yeah, well, yeah. But we're talking like brakes, rotors,
Batteries.
hoses, batteries,
Mhm.
like someone like me who can pick this up, put it in the back of my car, slide it over, grab some more stuff, and then take it over to wherever the shipper may have me go, which could be it can be an auto mechanic, it can be
Mhm.
it could be a parts store
Right.
and things like that. For me personally, I would like to see us in 5 years. Well, in 5 years, I would like to quit my full time and
Mhm.
be 5 grand full time.
Right.
And I would like to see us, like Kevin said, right now we're in the basement.
Mhm.
We're in a home. I would like for us to come out of our homes and be in a brick and mortar. I would like to see us in a place where we really bring our people in
Mhm.
Mhm.
and teach them like somebody taught us,
Right.
and show them that this is hard. I believe that anything you put your mind to, any hard work will lead you to somewhere. Hard work is good work.
Mm. Yeah.
Heck
It-
yeah.
Yeah.
and don't worry about the money. The money is going to come.
Right.
Mhm.
Love what you're doing first. Don't quit. If you fall, get back up. You can learn. People, we want to teach people. So just the way that somebody took us and said, hey, you know, you can do this. And we was like, we can? Well, how we do that? And they,
Heck yeah.
Uh-huh.
I want a paper chase too. How you get on to that?
I know that's right. I know that is right.
And to kind of dovetail over my Sharon was saying, with any business, you're going to need mentorship.
Mhm.
Okay. You don't go into a business knowing everything.
Right.
And the auto parcel delivery is leading to direct shippers. And eventually, in those 5 years that Sharon was talking about, we see ourselves doing 53-foot truck trailers.
Right.
Okay, moving loads cross country,
Mhm.
moving loads between Canada and Mexico. But at the same time, some of our staff and some of the drivers that we're looking for, we want to mentor them to go out and do the same thing we did.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with friendly competition in the Black community. Believe me,
No, not
it
at
No.
only strengthens us as a community. And
Mhm.
then what we do, we start breaking down doors
Mhm.
because, like you said, brother, and like a lot of us know, there are a lot of Black drivers out here driving for companies. There are a lot of Black owner operators, but the logistical side of the game is where we're lacking.
Mhm.
Right.
Right. That is
Feels
true.
wide open over on that side. That's where
Oh,
we trying to go.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
because guess what? Other communities do it.
Oh yeah.
And like the host, I tell people I'm ex-military. I say it all the time, but I was also stationed overseas, and I
Mhm.
have saw how other cultures work, especially
Mhm.
the Asian culture.
Right.
We need that loyalty. We need to get into that, get into a market, establish our dominance in the market. Do you know before we elected President Obama, the whole field was there'll never be a Black president. There'll never be a Black president.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? There's a there was a Black president.
Right.
Well, there'll never be a Black a female a Black vice president. Guess what? There is one. And
Yep.
guess what? Just this week, most of y'all did not know, for a few hours, she was the first Black female president.
Mm.
But that's what I'm saying. We are breaking ceilings that people thought we could never break.
Yes, indeed.
Right.
And I'm 51 years old, and anybody who's hearing my voice, I love mentoring young people
Mhm.
because getting in this field has shown me nothing is impossible for us. We just have to have loyalty.
Yes,
That's
indeed.
it.
Yeah.
So, what challenges have you faced in a white male dominated industry?
Hmm. You got that, Kevin.
How do you?
No.
Well, let me put it this way: as a black male and as someone who served, you're always going to be in a white dominated industry or setup.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay, but don't be afraid. I do not let anybody else's skin color determine what I'm going to do once the ideal is formed in my head. Once it is funded, I'm going just as hard as the next guy. Okay, I don't give a doggone if you're white, green, or purple.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you know what I'm chasing? The only color I worry about is green, going in my pocket, going into the account, going to keep 5 grand logistics open.
Mhm.
Sharon does the same thing. I know I'm speaking for my wife. She knows that she has the same mentality. The only color we see is green.
Right.
So when we started getting mentored in logistics, like you said, from the very time we could crawl with logistics.
Right.
Okay, when mommy said put them toys in the toy box, guess what? You pick them up, put them up.
Mhm.
When dad say, go out to the mailbox and get the mail, that's
Mhm.
what you do. Mow that lawn.
Mhm.
Okay, we're talking logistics, and the thing is, you have to learn the lingo. You have to learn how to work with people. Need to be on time. You sometimes you gotta put your attitude in check.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah.
I know you want to rise up. Okay, especially when you feel disrespected. But your feeling of disrespect could lead you out of thousands and thousands of
Mhm.
dollars. There's some real a-holes in this industry, believe me.
Yeah.
Okay, but guess what? For every a-hole there is out there are 9 or 10 other shippers that want to work with you.
Yes, indeed.
Because guess what? And there's a book, and anybody remembers, and you old enough to remember, bro. Merrill Lynch wouldn't even talk to you unless you had $50,000.
Yeah.
Okay, but guess what? When Black Friday 1987 happened, for you young cats out there who don't know what is Wikipedia, the head of Merrill Lynch looked around after they lost all that money that Friday and said, "You know what? I have nothing but old white people in here." So
Mm.
he gave them all nice severance packages, hired a diverse staff, and when they asked him out, he said, "The only color I see for it is green."
Mm.
I read his book.
Wow.
Okay.
Mm.
That's how we have to be in this industry as people. Do not let anyone else's attitude, or how should I say, you make them feel threatened. You damn right you're supposed to make them feel threatened in this industry. Okay,
Mhm.
this has been a dominated industry that all people of color need to get into, not just black.
Right.
Because guess what? Like we say, there are the drivers out there.
Mhm.
Okay, and they need to know we're out there. That's why 5 grand logistics exists. That's why we're looking to not only hire drivers and staff, we want to mentor just like me, Sharon, and Dee Dee were mentored.
Right.
That's what's up.
So Sharon, I want to throw the question at you as well.
Okay.
How is it for women in this industry? Because it's already you know hard enough for minorities, but being a woman, how are you and Dion navigating that lane?
Uh, in the beginning, especially when we started talking to people, because you got that female thing, they think that you don't know the language or you don't understand. So that's been a that's been a trying thing too. And um my thing is my gender should not matter. My knowledge should matter.
Right.
And
Right.
so
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking my foot and I'm kicking in the doors. And I don't care. You can tell me no. I don't care how many no's I get. Eventually, I'm going to get a yes. And
Right.
so
Yeah.
it's that kind of determination that D and I are like, you know what? We know what we're dealing with. We know what we're up against, but I'm not scared. And
That's
Mhm.
she's
what's up.
not either.
I know that.
So it's been a challenge. I'm not going to lie to you. Um, I think the industry needs a shakeup. There's not You do see women truckers out there, but you don't see women in this behind the scenes in this industry like this.
Hmm.
Right.
And so we need more of us out there, not
Hmm.
just in the forefront, but behind the scenes as well.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Heck
That's good.
yeah. Scared quarters don't make dollars.
And one
You're
and
right
one
about that.
and one of the things I'll say is a lot when women are doing this, and like I said, I do this with my wife and my sister-in-law, and I'm gonna be honest. They don't think you know anything.
Hmm.
Okay. But believe me, when it comes down to that paperwork and submitting, they know.
Hmm.
Okay. I tell people, and I'm a male, and I'll say this. When it comes to the organization skills, women got a lock on that. I'm
Mm.
sorry. Y'all do,
Details.
but with that little joke being said, a lot of people don't think women know how to work in this industry. That is far from the truth. Very far from the truth. And I'm not just speaking on my wife and sister in law, I'm speaking on some other women I've met in this industry. They
Hmm.
know what they're doing.
Right. You know, it's interesting that it's kind of interesting, but to a degree, it's not that in 2021, women in especially in this type of industry, and even minorities for that matter, are still faced with that you don't know what you're doing mentality from different, racial groups and even organizations as a whole. Um, and y'all touched on something that should resonate with a lot of people is don't worry about that. As long as you can produce, nothing else matters. And you know, you might have five doubters over here, but that one crack in the door might open the floodgates for a lot of things. And people out there need to keep that in mind because you know we can easily get discouraged, especially us as minorities. We get easily get discouraged by the no's because we have that oppression mentality. But we have to understand that that's not our life. We can push through, and I'm happy that y'all starting out with this small company, and y'all have big goals, and y'all are really putting the pedal to the ground on that.
And that's what it's all about. I tell people the only thing, and I hate to paraphrase, well, I shouldn't say hate. I'm going to paraphrase Franklin D. Roosevelt. The only thing you have to fear is fear itself.
That's it.
Heck
Okay.
yeah.
And when you get out there and you get in this industry and people are slamming doors in your face and hanging up the phone, that doesn't mean tuck tail and go high in the corner. That
Mm-mm.
means go harder.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
Okay. Because somebody, like you said, you may knock on 10 doors today. You may get 100 rejections for the week. But that
Mhm.
101 person might say, you know what? I like your energy. I like your style. I like the lingo. Let me give you a shot at this. It
Mhm.
might not be something big. It may be something small in the beginning. But
Mhm.
once they see you handle that, guess what? They're a client forever. They're a
Right.
client till you really, really, really once you're in, you're the one who gets yourself out.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that's the mentality that a lot of our young people are lacking today. They face adversity and it's like, okay, let me go over here and find something safe. Human beings aren't designed to be safe. We're
Mhm.
designed to be challengers and to be challenged.
Right. Right.
And that's what I'm saying. If you have an idea, you may start out as a driver.
Mhm.
Hey, anybody's been in the military, you start out either as a very low ranking enlistment or you start out as a very low ranking officer.
Right.
But if you stick to it and you get that drive, even at a job, you may be an administrative assistant or whatever you do, the guy who's mopping the floor. But guess what? At some point, you're going to be a supervisor.
Yeah.
If
Hmm.
you hang in there, you gain
Exactly.
knowledge.
Hmm.
Because the Honorable Louis Farrakhan once said it in one of his sermons. Once you have knowledge in your head, no one can take it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to add to that. I'm going to let you know some of the administrative assistants we are like, and I do say we because
Mm-hmm.
that's my day job. We are like the backbone to that manager. So guess
Oh
what?
yeah.
We know as much as that manager does.
Sometimes
And
more.
Yes.
and sometimes more. And with that experience, like Kevin said, with organizational skills, yeah, I've been doing that for 20 years. D had too. So yeah, we can run we can run our own business, but we know how to run somebody else's too.
Oh, and that's been proven, believe
And
me.
it's been proven, yeah.
Look, I will say this much. Ran my mother's business real well too.
I know that's right.
I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
All my mother had to do was collect the check.
Once you get to that point, you know you made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you got good people working for you at that point.
And anybody knows when you do when you're an administrator, and that's really what an owner operator is, administrator and administrates that people. Guess what? You hold the keys of the kingdom.
Yeah. Yes,
You signing checks and you making sure that people with steel braces don't come knocking at your door talking about we need to go downtown and have a little talk.
Exactly.
Because your taxes, you don't miss the decimal point.
Look,
I don't like them steel braces.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, before I ask the next question, you know, y'all spoke on a lot, but you know, I think one thing that the current generation and probably going back the last, I'll just say 5-10 years, they lack resiliency and they lack drive. And I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and you know, the one thing that I've seen that comes from a lot of people that look like us that kind of irritates me is we don't have enough chances. We don't have enough opportunities. We're not getting enough this. We're not getting enough that. And it's like, you know, we're in a world where you have to get up off your butt and go get it. It's always been like that. And for whatever reason, people still want to be spoon fed and have a pacifier given to them. But, you know, y'all are showing that if you want it, if it's in your head, put it to work. It's that easy.
Yeah.
It is literally that easy.
Yeah, and you can, and I tell young people all the time, I say, you have advantages that we never had as a generation.
Oh my man.
No,
Okay.
technology alone.
Okay, I'm getting ready to tell my age. Okay, the internet is out here. Everybody goes to the internet for everything.
Everything.
I lived my life pre-internet.
Yep.
Y'all don't know about the Dewey Decimal System, having to go to a library, get a book. Okay, if imagine you'd have to go to a library, get a book to learn about logistics.
Wait, you skipped a step.
What's
you
that?
You had to go to the card catalog.
Yes.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
See, we telling our age. Okay. We had to go to the card catalog, look up what you were looking for. And on average at a library, you had to check out 6 books.
At least.
Yes. To start a business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then you had to fill out a whole bunch of paperwork, which y'all now do online. Okay. Mm-hmm. Wait 2 to 3 weeks for them to send you a business license. Submit and keep submitting paperwork.
Mm.
Young people out here today who can hear my voice, you have the golden opportunity. If you have an internet, if you have a smartphone, close out the Snapchat sometimes, close out the Facebook, open up the Chrome, open up your search engine, and do a search on how to start a business. Find someone who will mentor you. You might have to drive a vehicle for 2 to 3 years to get that money, get that capital to start your own business.
Yeah.
We at 5 Grand are not opposed to our people, younger generation, starting a business. Outside of 5 Grand, I love mentoring young people. My fraternity loves mentoring young people, especially young Black men.
Mm-hmm.
We listen to our generation. We have a lot to offer in mentoring you because once we dead and gone, like my daddy said, you can't spend money dead.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been dead for 26 years.
You cannot.
But you can leave a legacy of young, because at some point, me, Sharon, Dion, we're going to say, okay, look, we're retiring. We want to hopefully pass it over to our children. We hopefully want to mentor young people. so they can go out and start $6,000 or $4,000 or $3,000 logistics. And
Right.
we are in that industry. We are inside the industry. We are forcing this industry, and just not a few here, a few there.
Right. All right. All right. So let me jump into this question.
Sure.
As a new company, how do you go about finding direct shippers and drivers?
Well, the direct shippers part is just phone calls, just
Mhm.
simple cold calling. Don't be afraid to pick up a phone. If you
And
go
not
ahead, I'm
only
sorry.
that, I'm sorry. Not only that, recently we introduced ourselves to Action uh Beauty, their Action Beauty products. They're over in Landover.
Mhm.
And the original owner of Action was actually a family friend of mine, or my
Mhm.
family. And
Wow.
so they have a new owner now. I called them up, introduced ourselves, said we are looking to possibly be your drivers.
Mhm.
And we sent them an email formally introducing ourselves. We're following up with phone calls. Those things, cold calls, like you said, those work. We have actually printed out a list of from the directory online, and with flyers and a speech in hand, and going into a person's establishment and saying, hi, how you doing, my name is, and here's where I'm from, and
Right.
look at what we can offer you.
Mhm.
And so those things we've done too. And as far as with the drivers, what's been working lately is social media outreach,
Mhm.
friends, um me putting out there and saying, hey, 5 Grand Logistics is hiring, we need drivers, we have
Mhm.
contracts, we are looking for, you don't need, and I'll say this, we are looking for uh we're looking for drivers who have their driver's license. You do
Mhm.
not need a CDL. Not
Yes.
for this, not for local shipping. You do not need, I'm going to repeat, you do not need a CDL.
DL.
Um, you do have to have a valid driver's license and insurance.
Yes.
And we're looking for someone, because some of our drivers, where we're running into issues is that they have these high powered cars with the gas prices being at $3 and plus a gallon. so if
No
you got
lies detected.
Mm.
so if you have a 4-cylinder car, we want you.
Or
We
hybrid.
or a
Mm.
hybrid, we definitely want you. And we're looking to just put you on the road. We work with everyone. So some of the drivers that have come across, they work at night. And so they're looking for part-time in the day. We have students. We
Mhm.
have one particular driver who is actually in the process of getting, I think he's getting a Sprinter.
Mhm.
He's
Yes.
going to get a Sprinter van, and he once he gets his Sprinter van, then we're going to transition him over onto the other side of 5 grand and look for loads for him and send him out on long distance driving.
Mm. Okay.
So those things have worked. Um, Talking to friends have worked. We have been able. I think we've been blessed in getting our drivers because of the way our relationships. My
Mhm.
brother-in-law says I know a lot of people, which I don't think so, but
She does.
Oh man.
so those things have been working for us. And being able to sit and talk with you all and promote us having the help of you promote us out there. People like you all we appreciate, because I don't think we would get as far as we have gotten without help.
Yes.
Right.
Definitely.
And one other thing to add to what Sharon says, we're looking for dependable people.
Right. Yeah. Definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. This is a high demand, stress related job, but I want you to understand when you come and work with $5,000.
Mhm.
Okay, whoever our shipper is, if you're taking parts, I'll just use auto parts as an example. If you're taking auto parts from the warehouse to the dealer or to the auto shop, it is not your job. You are just the driver.
Mhm.
If they want to complain, to tell them to complain to whoever the manufacturer was or whoever put their order together.
Right.
Okay, you are the driver, and believe me, they do come at you. But when we will train you, we will let you know, and we will not send you out there to be out there by yourself. If you run into a problem, guess what? Call us or direct them back to whoever their contact was at the company. No, but we do need dependable, on-time people who are willing to work. If a problem comes up, we understand. Just give us enough time. Hey, I'll tell you, I got a valid driver's license. I'll back you up. I train in the field. So if if something comes, I do understand things happen.
Right.
Just give me enough time to get to hey, Kevin, I can't make it today. Whatever. Give me a 2-hour heads up. I'll take your shift. Hey, I have the title of CEO, but I work. I'm in the field.
Heck yeah. So let me ask you 2 questions.
Sure.
Both related though. From start to finish, like what is a typical day for someone who's driving local, from sun up to getting in their vehicle to picking up the product, dropping off the product, to someone who maybe does it, from state to state or something like that?
Well, for a typical local driver, the day usually starts between 6 and 8 in the morning. Okay, and then it ends between 3 and 5. The only real thing about local deliveries is the traffic itself. Okay, you're gonna the normal traffic things like construction, accidents, those will slow you down. But usually you have a dedicated route. You go to that dedicated route. You may deliver on that dedicated route 4, 5, 7 times a day. But it's normally within a 5 to, let's say, 22-mile radius. So you're constantly moving. Like I said, the only thing that will slow you up in delivering is the unforeseen things like car accidents, construction. But we also encourage our drivers to use the Waze app or whatever they prefer to use, Apple app, and if any problem crops up, you have a mechanical breakdown, whatever happens, things do happen. Call back to the shop, call us, or call back to the shop. Let them know what's going on. And then for like load boards and loads that are going out of state, which we'll eventually get into, for the average truck driver, the day may start at 4:00 in the morning. But on the flip side, this is a CDL driver. Most long haul drivers like driving at night.
Right.
Because it's not as much traffic out there. So you may be sleeping in the day inside your cab, or you may be sleeping at a hotel at the daytime and then get in your truck at 4 p.m. And then drive to 4 a.m. in the morning because DOT regulations normally state you're supposed to drive between 12 and 14 hours.
Right.
And a lot of CDL drivers know that. So with CDL also, it's the same thing. Construction or unforeseen, because they do construction at night and there are accidents at night. And then, of course, as we're getting into the winter months, the weather is going to be a challenge as well.
Right.
So that's a typical day for most drivers. Local, between 6 and 8, unless they're moving stuff overnight. And there is stuff that moves at night because that's when grocery stores normally restock. But that tends to be box truck and CDL drivers. And there are also some hardware stores at like Lowe's and Home Depot, even when you use box truck and pickups, that restock early in the morning. So it varies. Yeah, so it's basically 24 hours when you do logistics, honestly, from small cars to big trucks.
Okay.
Now, are y'all actually operating 24 hours a day right now, or is that projected in the near future?
Actually, we are.
We
Okay.
are.
We are. Believe me, if you ring the phone here, it's going to be answered.
Mm. So pretty much everybody out there listening, if you want to do this full time, they have nighttime. So just throwing that out there for y'all.
They about their business, as they say.
And look, like my daddy used to say, I run rabbits and bark at the moon. So I'm up at night.
Oh man.
Now I will say this, and we haven't even got to that question, but I want to kind of touch on it.
Mm-hmm.
If you are, and I'll say this, and I believe in training and working with anybody, I don't care if you're a returning citizen. What you did, and now that you're out, is of no concern to me. All I ask is, like with anyone else, you be dependable, you be on time, everything be valid, and you don't not only embarrass yourself, but embarrass us and the shipper you work for.
Right.
Okay. $5,000 believes in second chances. Okay. I don't care. You can drive a 4-banger. You can drive, and that's my code for small cars. Okay. Or you can drive a big CDL truck.
Right.
We believe in second chances because guess what? I lived through that era. I know there are a lot of brothers out here, and we're going to give that younger generation the same shot that a lot of people gave me. Not saying I went in, but a lot of people helped me along the way. And I believe ever since I've been around that I believe in second chances.
All right. So speaking on that, when you're talking about returning citizens and second chances, are a lot of them receptive to employment with you guys? Because we all know too well that when they're looking for employment and stuff like that, they're either being turned down a lot or they have it in their heads from watching TV, watching news, and whatever the case may be, or hearing from other people that, oh, they're not going to give you a job because you've been to jail, or whatever the case may be. So, are they receptive to employment with you guys?
Let me put it this way: a lot of returning citizens have a lot of doubt in their mind, and they do believe that. Anyone who hears my voice right now, right here, if you're looking for a second chance and you can drive, my name is Kevin. Call me personally at $5,000 Logistics.
But you gotta have a license and some insurance.
No, I'm just saying. I said that earlier, Sharon. If you have a license, insurance, and your own vehicle, okay,
And you're dependable.
and you're
dependable.
Okay.
I want to say this. I just want to add this where we have ran into some incidents where people are saying that they want to work and that they don't show up.
Right.
We hire them and they don't show up. So we want serious people, Black and brown people. We want you. We are our equal opportunity to everyone, but I definitely would like to employ our people.
Yes.
But you gotta want it.
Yeah.
And we can't. You gotta want to paper chase as hard as we do. You gotta want it.
We're not gonna coddle you.
No.
Nah. Go ahead, Sharon. We ain't gonna coddle you.
No spoon feeding.
No, we're not gonna spoon feed you. It's time for you. And
You
I'm gonna say some of these 20-something year olds, y'all need to pop the nipple off your mamas.
Yep, you want salad. You want solid foods now.
You want solid foods now. It's time to stand up on your own.
Right.
Oh man, that's funny.
Okay, but like I said, we will work with dependable, receptive, and independently owned and operated car drivers who want that second chance. Don't let nobody tell you we won't.
There you have it. There you have it.
It's from the horse's mouth.
All right. So let me ask you guys this then. Let's say I'm looking to get into this industry.
Mm-hmm.
I got good credit. I got a good license. I can do my thing. Where would you think would be the best place to start? Meaning, like, okay, I could get a car, but a car can't hold as much. I could
Right.
get a Sprinter van, but if I get a Sprinter van, I can't really haul things as much. So maybe I want to get a truck. But in you guys' opinion, where would you start? And when you start there, where would you be looking to go from there?
Well, first of all, the first thing is if you're going to do, it depends on what you're going to do. Are you going to do CDL or are you going to do local?
Non CDL. So,
Okay, non CDL. You can find shippers like, I would say, start out with automotives, start out with deliveries. Heck, you can even start out with Uber and Lyft or even Instacart. You want to build your reputation. You want to build that you are an established driver. Get through your local routes, and then when you're on those routes, look for opportunities. Look
Mhm.
for opportunities where, hey, I see a car coming out of that warehouse. What do they do? Okay, you have to have the gall sometimes to walk in there, look that shipping manager in the eye, and say, "Hey, look, I'm a professional driver. This is who I'm working for. This is my pay stub with Uber, Lyft, whatever." Okay, sometimes gall gets you gets you in the door. Some guys will say, "Okay, the nerve of you to come in here and ask me for a job."
You
Uh
right.
uh-uh,
The
uh.
nerve
Okay, you gonna meet them people, but then
of
there's gonna be the one dude that's gonna say, "Oh man, he had the testicular fortitude to come in here and ask me for a job.
mm-hmm.
Oh, he must be a hustler. Let me give him a shot."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then on the CDL side of the house, if you're going to get you a truck, get you a DOT number, Department of Transportation number, and then get your authority.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can go get you on a load board and say, "Hey, look, I have a 26-foot box truck." And believe me, the opportunities with that are going to be hard. It's going to be hard on both sides
Mm-hmm.
because you don't have any experience and you have a brand new authority. But there are companies out there who will give you a shot. And then on the flip side of that, you can use 5 grand logistics or other logistics companies that will talk with direct ship and say, "Hey, look, I got a brand new CDL driver. He just recently got his authority. Give him an opportunity."
Right.
And when you talk that direct ship and you talk him up and you say this guy's dependable,
Mm-hmm.
or when an emergency situation comes up and the ship says, "Oh look, my other truck broke down. I need to get this load to, let's say, Raleigh, North Carolina."
Mm-hmm.
And they call me and say, "Kevin, do you have a truck?" "Yeah, I know a guy. He lives down in, let's say, Emporia, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
He can go grab that load. I can call you up and you wake you up out the bed at 2 o'clock in the morning." Okay, then and by 8 you're in Raleigh. You've done picked up the load and made sure it made it on time.
right.
Those are the opportunities. Gall will get you everything if you believe in yourself. And
Right.
that's all I was trying to say in those 2 examples. You might have to go through that door, look that dude in the face and say, "Hey, look, I'm a professional driver.
Mm-hmm.
Give me an opportunity." Whether you're a local driver or CDL.
There you have it.
Heck yeah. So, how important as a company to employ within our community is it to you all?
It's very important because like like we said earlier, we're putting money out in other communities. Uh like we mentioned, Nike, shoot, Adidas,
Hmm.
uh Fendi, all these other stores, but we're not investing in our own.
Right.
We do need to invest in our own. There is some stuff right here down in National Harbor that, like, there's a forgot the name of it, but they're a health like a smoothie place,
Mm-hmm.
and it's Black owned.
Wow.
It's a lot of businesses and things out here that are Black owned, and we don't put enough into our own business. And so I that's where we need to start. We need to start investing back into our own business, into our own people, so that we can grow, we can have financial wealth and grow ourselves and be way beyond what our own expectations or our own dreams could be. We do not invest in enough in ourselves, and we're crying about what they don't give us. They don't
Yeah.
give us this. They
Yeah.
don't give us that.
Hmm.
Wham, wham,
Yeah.
wham. Well, you can't wham, wham when you're not investing in your own people.
Mhm.
Hallelujah. Okay. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you. Thank
Now,
Preach.
now for me,
Preach right there. Preach.
if you ain't realized in the last hour and 5 minutes how important it is to employ within my community, then you ain't been listening to my voice.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm all about giving our community the same shot that every other community has had. I told you there are Black drivers in this industry. There are a lot of them working for companies. Some of them are in owner operators, but we got to get in the other side of the house too, of the logistics game, getting that paperwork. I am 100% committed to employing Black people at this job. Not, I'm saying, hey, I believe people of color should have every opportunity, but ours should come first.
Mhm.
Okay, and we need to, like I said, this is an industry that generates billions, if not trillions of dollars a year. We need to get that wealth. So that's how important it is for me.
Well said, sir. Well said.
Yeah, definitely. That is important, and I like that you keep stressing that you're reaching back to the community because that's what we need. It's very frustrating to me to hear how people talk about there's not opportunities out there, and there are organizations like yourself or people have the knowledge, they just don't have the drive to go out there and do it. So I'm glad that you keep stressing that, hey, we're here for you. Just, hey, we right here for you.
Reach out.
Come,
And
just come on.
can I add something else?
Yes, sir.
I want to bust up that myth that Black people, Black companies don't give the same customer service that other companies do.
Please do. Please do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
We at 5 grand, we are open 24 hours a day for our drivers. Okay. And like I said, it may be a little bit sleepy dust when you pick up the phone, but believe me, I'm being realistic. Believe me, we're here for you 24 hours a day. And if you use any other logistics company and with their customer service, you're going to get the same doggone thing, if not superior here.
Mm,
Yes, sir.
that's what's up.
Okay. So we are not only employing, we not only walk the walk, we talk the talk. And that is you're going to get customer service from the moment you first talk to us to the last time you talk to us.
Mhm.
And it's time for us as a people to get out of our daggone heads. Oh well, Black people, we don't get customer service. I'm gonna say I've said it myself in the past.
Right.
Okay, but like Sharon said, there are people, we will walk by a Black-owned store to go into a white-owned store, the same smoothie, making the same smoothie because we don't believe we'll get a better tasting smoothie at the Black-owned store.
That is
Get
true.
that
Or just
mentality out of
customer
your head,
service.
please.
Heck yeah.
That is true. That is
That's
true.
one thing I definitely stress in this shirt. If you guys can see it,
Yeah, I
this
see it.
design is by none other than Soul Toucher. But this shirt was put together by a Black owned business. So when we say we about that life, we about that life. Please believe.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Um, so y'all spoke on what you're looking for as far as drivers and stuff like that. So when you look at standards for finding qualified drivers, carriers, this, that, and the other. Um, of course, we're looking at you have to have a driver's license, you have to have insurance, you have to have your own vehicle. Um, But let's talk about the qualities and other things that you require for your drivers and carriers that I'm just going to say that the generation that we have before us is lacking, as far
Yeah.
as
Mm-hmm.
their presentation of themselves, um, uh, their verbal skills and people skills and all that. So let's talk about that when you are looking for your drivers and carriers.
Well, if I talk to you and you approach me like young, bruh, I'm gonna go click.
Oh,
Because I guarantee you, I can't walk up on my day job. I'm in the federal government too. There's no way I'm picking up the phone, and I deal with the undersecretary's office a lot. I'm not picking up that phone talking about, yo, what's up? How you doing? Hey sis, what's going on? No, they're gonna be like, oh, y'all need to fire her. She doesn't know.
Oh yeah.
She doesn't know how to speak. What young people don't understand is the way that you speak also gets you in the door,
Yes.
Right.
and that doesn't
Definitely.
matter what job that you're. No matter what career, what job, whatever you're doing, your speech gets you in the door,
mm-hmm.
and your look, the way you look, and when I mean by the way you look, if you're a male, tuck your shirt in,
Pull your
have
pants
your
up.
pants ironed, and pull your pants up off your butt so we don't see your underwear.
Yes.
Exactly, that part.
I do not want to see your butt crack coming through my door.
Right.
Definitely presentation, act hungry. Some people don't act hungry enough. And I'm quoting Diddy, but I used to see in a movie, he used to say, I'm a lion, I'm hungry, and I'm ready to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you got a family and you got kids, they need food on the table. They need that you got to pay rent. Your bills definitely constitute what your job is going to be, and it doesn't matter if it's $5,000 or not. The moment that you come in, and like I said, if you go young, that ain't.
Yo.
Oh man.
That's gonna close the door on everybody's gonna close the door on you. It's not you have to have some form of professionalism.
Definitely
And
do.
dealing with the shippers, you have to have some form of professionalism. And I would tell you right now, if a shipper talks to you sideways and you decide that you're going to talk sideways back, that's going to be your job.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that part right there.
Because guess what? The shipper is securing his job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he's gonna tell me, you're gonna either have to fire him or it's your contract.
Yeah.
Okay, and I look, I like you, but like you, I'm gonna have to let you go at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and like Sharon said, for the males, no one is asking you to, as they say, we just want you to project an image of yourself. That's a positive image. For the females, we want the same thing. When you out picking up products, believe me, I tell people when you out picking up products, coveralls are your best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the store, buy 2 sets of coveralls, wear them, because a lot of stuff you pick up comes off of pallets, wood. It comes right off the truck.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it does have surface dirt on it.
Right.
Okay, don't be wearing your best to the job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because you're going to either be washing or paying cleaning fees.
Yeah.
We're looking for people who are dependable. Dependability is our number one standard. Then after that, you have to be licensed. You have to have insurance. You have to have a dependable vehicle. Okay, and you got to come in with a drive that I am working a job.
Mhm.
What you do before you come to work is no concern to me. What you do
That's right.
after you leave work is no concern to me. What you did 2 or 3 years ago, and I'm talking to my returning citizens, okay, it's none of my concern. The only thing that we ask is $5,000 or 5 standards: license, insurance, vehicle, dependability, and a professionalism that will get you to the next day.
It is.
Okay, those are like $5,000. Those are our 5 standards,
I know that's right.
And I'm
and
just
that
gonna
go
add attitude. Come with a
Mm.
positive
positive attitude.
attitude. We need that.
All
Definitely.
Right.
day.
So this will not work. The whole head
It's
roll,
not,
Yeah.
it's
No,
not
no,
going to work.
we don't need
nah,
that.
nah.
Mm.
The
Mm-mm.
the only thing you should be rolling is the 4 tires on your car.
I know that's
That's
right.
it.
Okay,
And that steering wheel when it turns.
when it
Yeah.
turns.
It's all
Okay,
about your mannerisms. You gotta recognize what party you're with. Meaning, I can act this way when I'm with my family and my
right.
friends, but right now I'm representing myself. I'm representing my company, and I'm representing the company that I'm working for.
And you're
So
representing yourself.
I'm gonna tone down that ghetto talk.
Mhm.
Yes, sir. Right this way, sir. We appreciate that, sir. Thank you, sir. It's all about how you treat other people. There's
And what
certain language for certain parties, but again, we're talking about business people.
and when in business, and when you do talk like that in business, you're not kissing anybody's behind.
No, not at
Mm-mm.
No,
all.
what you're doing is you're projecting a business image.
Right.
So, like I said, if you go and you grow and you start your own company one day, they may remember, oh man, when he came, he was a driver, he was so professional, blah,
Mhm.
blah, blah. They'll hand you a contract.
Right.
Okay. Believe me, it's very, very simple.
Mhm.
But like I said, in this industry, we are helping our people. We want to help our people. We basically demand of ourselves to help our people.
Mm.
And like I said, the 5 standards are relatively easy if you're a young person or even if you're an older person. And we are looking for you.
Mm.
Okay, there are employment opportunities out here. You I'm gonna say the phone number again: 301-449-3724. We are looking for you. You can also contact us at our email, the word 5 GL at outlook.com.
It's right there.
It's right
Right
there on the
there.
screen. Look, I read it off the screen. Okay.
And
Okay.
also, if you all want to check us out, we are at www.5grandlogistics.com.
There it is.
And go
You know,
ahead.
I
I'm sorry.
got before we even escape the topic of the standards and everything. Your hiring process. How long does that take from hey, I'm looking for a job to you got this person on a route? How long is that process?
It's up to the individual. It's up to the individual. What I'm saying is up to the individual. We're going to vet you.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to find out about your driver's record.
Right.
Honesty is the one thing that will get you employed here. If you're honest with us and everything checks out, and I get a feel for the attitude, I get a feel for you, you're a hustler, all that, we start training.
Mm-hmm.
I start training you. Okay? But you got to be honest. Everything has to check out. That includes a valid driver's license. That includes a dependable vehicle. That includes valid insurance. And then from there, we'll pull your driver's record. We'll take a look at it. Okay. We get a feel for your attitude, and we work with you. We found out your availability.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's the process right there.
Right.
So, how long is your training process?
Depends on how quickly you grasp the route. Depends on how quickly you grasp the equipment that we use.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for auto parts we use scanners.
Mm-hmm.
For maybe other deliveries, there's actually paperwork you have to fill out in the car. I delivered 5 bottles of, let's say, Pert shampoo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, or 20 or 5 rows. But mostly everything today is basically electronic based.
Right. So are you guys moving towards an app as well for to supplement the scanners to eliminate the paperwork, or is that something that you're going to look for down the line?
The scanners are provided by the shippers because it's based
Okay.
on their system.
Mhm.
What you do is in the morning you get a scanner, or you get your invoices. You go through them sometimes with the car in conjunction with the scanners, because basically what we do is we provide the drivers, and the shippers give us the equipment they need to make their deliveries.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
Because each shipper is different. So
Mhm.
I just want to add that.
Okay. So are your potential drivers, because being subcontractors, there are a lot of things that you have to worry about as a subcontractor. Are you doing the I-9s and all of that stuff, or are your drivers doing all that stuff? How is that working?
1099s.
1099?
They're independent contractors at this point.
Okay.
And so as one who's been a 1099 myself, there are a lot of breaks you get at the end of the year.
Yes, it is.
Save your receipts.
Yes.
Save your receipts. Believe me, actually, if you go to Burger King during your working hours to eat lunch, you can actually write that off.
Yeah, people don't know that.
A lot of people don't know that, but you could any maintenance on your vehicle, anything from tires, cell phone, you can write that off at the end of the year.
Yeah, yes, indeed.
And make sure to also, as a 1099, and I caution a lot of people, put a little bit away of each one of your paycheck. So when your federal and state taxes do come due, you can pay them.
All right. Yeah.
Because the government will get their money. One way or another.
Yes, they will.
This is my last question for you all.
Sure, you can ask as many as you want, bro.
All right. Everybody wants to know a number. Like, if I come into this industry, whether I'm working for you or maybe someone else, what is the potential someone can make either as a local driver or maybe a regional driver? And I'm not asking for solid numbers, but a ballpark kind of like figure.
I'm not gonna give you a number, and I'll tell the audience and you why.
All right.
It depends on your drive. This is a limitless industry. Okay. If you work hard, and there are some people who are doing local,
right,
and they're working hard, they're making 5, even 6 figures. Okay.
Sir.
It depends on that hustle. Like I said, it depends on that hustle.
Right.
Okay. It depends on how fast you want to move up. It depends on what routes you're taking. Okay. Believe me, you could talk to some old time cab drivers before Lyft and all that came about. Some of them were pulling down 6 figures.
Yeah.
Some cab drivers were working 16, 18 hours a day and were pulling down 6 figures at the end of the year. Limo drivers.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So this industry, especially in this we're still in the COVID pandemic. Believe me, that's why I won't give you a number. I'm not going to lie to anybody.
Right.
The earning potential here is unlimited. Depending on what you drive, how hard you work, and your ability of being dependable.
That's what's up.
The minute your tires start rolling for a shipper, you're building your reputation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's it, man.
That's a solid answer. Thank you, sir.
It is. It is a solid answer. So definitely, I don't have any more questions. So, Lex, you got anything?
No more questions. But again, we just want to thank you guys for coming on, giving us insight on this industry, because like you said, this is a booming industry, and we just got to carve our piece of the pie out, as they say.
Nobody's going to give you anything. Okay, no one's going to give you anything.
At all.
You may feel like you're owed, but no one's going to give you a doggone thing. And this industry, and I will stress this, and then I will shut my mouth. Okay. This industry,
Oh, man.
if you do get into it and you take that chance, the earning potential is unlimited.
Yep.
Say that one more time for the audience.
The earning potential is unlimited.
You heard it.
Think
You heard it. You heard
think
it.
about it. Those Jordans that are in your closet, that PlayStation that's on your shelf, that canned food that's in your pantry, that pizza you getting ready to have tonight. Guess what? As we say in the shipping industry, it had a life before it ended up in your house. And
Mm-hmm.
it either came
Mhm.
off a ship, it came out of a field, it came from a plant. Every piece of item that is moved logistically has a lifeline, a life
Yep.
from the
It does.
minute it was built to the minute it was delivered.
Yes, indeed.
Mhm.
Exactly.
And another thing people need to realize is while we're in the pandemic, there the trucking industry is struggling. There are not enough truckers out here to get product from the shipping yards to the stores and everything else that is going on. If you look at the news, you'll see that some of the ports like California, Augusta, Georgia, um, even Florida, like some of the ships are sitting in the sea because they can't unload.
Mm-hmm.
They can't get the load off of the ships because there's still a lot of products sitting at the ports. They can't get them because we don't have enough drivers. We don't have enough. The trucking industry is struggling right now.
Mm.
Do you know there's food? And I said I'm going to shut my mouth, but do you know there's food sitting on ships right now that are in refrigerators? That the reason they won't dock the ship is because once the ship docks, the food has to be moved within 24 to 36 hours.
Mm.
There are
Wow.
not enough drivers out there to get the food to market. That's one of the reasons food prices are going up. So I will, for the sound, anybody within the sound of my voice, if you're considering maybe getting your CDL, we need CDL drivers. And I don't just mean 5 grand, I mean everybody we're in the industry. If you're a non-CDL driver, you're still needed as well. Because
Mm-hmm.
everything that comes off a big truck has to go into something smaller because not all loading docks can accept big trucks.
Right. That is very true.
Mhm.
It's very true. That's very true. But thank y'all for joining us tonight. I hope everybody out there who tuned in got some information. If you know someone that's looking out for a job, um, here's the website again, www.5grandlogistics.com. Check them out. Hey, they got, if you want a job, they got something for you. I'll let y'all give y'all closing pitch and all that stuff. So go ahead and go for it.
Oh, it's me. Okay.
Well, if you want me to go first, Rod, I can. Well, the only thing I'm going to say on that is, hey, be dependable, have a valid license, have a valid insurance, have a car or any type of vehicle, and if you're willing to call and you're willing to be dependable, we're willing to give you a shot.
Yeah.
Um, for me, I would say we will we will welcome you. We will definitely want to see you thrive. You will get proper training. We are hands on as far as if there's something that you need and or need something that we need to handle for you, we will be there. We are we're fair. We understand how this industry works and we're family owned and operated. We get it. We get everything. So, like I said, one I want to say to Landy because Landy and I are actually friends that go way back.
Yeah,
Thank
we go back a
you.
few years.
Thank you for your support. Thank you for having us. Thank you for this opportunity. I really do appreciate you.
Not a problem.
Yeah, thank y'all for
I
coming on.
want to second that, and I want to say that just like we're talking about being Black owned, you brothers is putting knowledge out to our community.
Yes, indeed.
And I can I respect that. I respect that because even in your industry, there are not a lot of us out here doing podcasts. So let's start getting that money, everybody. Let's start getting that money in every industry.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Because it's out there.
Exactly.
Yes, indeed. But with that said, thank you everybody for joining the King and I Life podcast. It's your boy Soul Toucher the Poet, my brother.
So Lex, and again, I just want to show you guys this shirt. This is designed by none other than Soul Toucher the Poet.
Yeah,
So hats off to your brother.
Yeah.
And you guys be on the lookout for that because we are having these shirts designed by a very talented sister from our community. And shirt feels good, man. The shirt feels good. Y'all be on the lookout for that.
And make sure y'all tune in to us every Wednesday live. Like I say, life willing, 7:30 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Follow the podcast on whatever podcast platform that you're on. Hit us up on social media, wherever. The website, www.KingAndEyeLife.com. So like, you got anything else before we shut this thing down?
Other than you guys have a good Thanksgiving and enjoy your turkey, gobble day. Don't, overindulge. Talking about, oh man, I ate too much. It's okay. It's all right, man. Just do your thing on that day and let it ride. But other than that, roll tide. We good.
Oh Lord, he did a rhyme.
Yeah.
Hey, 5grandlogistics.com. Go check them out. Support. We are going to support them in whatever endeavors they have. If they need us to promote anything, we got them. But with that being said, we are out of here.
Bye-bye.
Bye.